Inside the seaside home, an addition created 3 different rooms that required 3 very different wall treatments. The walls of the entertainment room downstairs have a very tactile quality. The color was picked to complement the window treatments.
Sort of a rough sand finish, which is a great finish, just bringing in the environment, the outdoors, into this beautiful room downstairs.
The thick weathered plaster used here has a sandy texture. It's applied with a sea sponge.
And what we're going to do is actually dip that sea sponge right into the product. And again, very heavy, a much heavier plaster. All right, and then we're going to just sponge on this texture. So we're going to let it sit on the wall for about 30 seconds or so before you actually knock it back. And it's just adding a really nice interest.
Sandra uses a flat instrument called a float and then rubs it over the plaster to flatten the high areas. This is called knocking it back. The color comes from fizzy pigment tablets that are put in water. Now the ratio is 1 tablet per 8 ounces of water, and it takes about 10 tablets to do a 6-foot by 6-foot room.
And just by taking your sponge and rubbing that onto the plaster, you started to create a nice colorway.
Sandra has to push fairly hard. This plaster is thick.
The final color is, if you want to add a little bit more texture here, you can. The white actually is going back to the weather plaster, the original sponge that we use, and just sponging on very little at a time.
This technique gives the wall a little more visual interest. For Sandra, Gina, and Robin, the hard work in all the rooms has been worth it.
The overall project was great. It turned out really, really well. The finishes are fantastic. We were on schedule. We came in on budget, so I'm happy.
The colors are subtle, but they're there. The textures are subtle, but they're there, and they create a beautiful difference in a room.
They're classic, they're subtle, and they're beautifully, beautifully executed.